Matt from Music Producer School. Thank you for joining me today. It is Thursday, and we're working on Let's Make a Song part number 9. So I'm glad you're with me. Really quickly, as always, be sure to join the Music Producer School community. If you want to follow us on all the other social links, you can find the link right there in the Facebook comments. And also, I am also doing private lessons. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click that link in the comments, and you can sign up there for private lessons if you need some help with a particular thing that you're working on. So let's get right into it today. We're working on Let's Make a Song Part 9. What we did basically on Tuesday was I recorded some new vocals for this song, and I'm going to show you guys and girls how I go through and basically what's called comping vocals, where we're going to find the best bits of each take and we're going to put that on a master track that's going to become our lead vocal. So I'm going to kind of take y'all through this process. Again, you can do this in any DAW. You don't have to just do it in Ableton. And actually, Ableton 11 is about to come out, and they actually have a comping feature that they've added, which I'm pretty excited about. Logic has had this for quite a while. Pro Tools has had it for quite a while. I don't believe FL Studio has anything like a comping feature, but the way that I'm going to do it today is you can do this in any DAW. It's not going to be using any special features of the program itself. I'm literally just going to be moving stuff between the different channels or tracks. So I'm going to show you all the method for this. I think it's pretty nifty actually, and it'll help you out in your own productions and in your productions when you're working with other artists especially. So let me show you all how I do this. So what we did, we have 4 takes here, and I'm going to color code. So we did 4 vocal takes. I'm going to color code all of the takes different colors, and it doesn't really matter what the colors are, but just as long as they're different. And I don't think, hopefully, Ableton's changed anything crazy on me here as far as the way this operates, because I'm working on Ableton 10. If some of y'all have followed me, I've been working mostly on Ableton 9, but I just upgraded to 10, so I think we should be good. So I'm going to put this, I always do my vocals in pink, my final vocals. So I'm going to call this Lead Vox Comp. And that's going to be the composite that we're going to make from these bits. So let me quickly take y'all through the procedure here just to give you an overview. The demo vocal, I do like to keep it up, although I'm most likely not going to use any of it because I even was on a different microphone for that. But I'll keep it up just kind of for a reference in case there's some type of timing thing that happens that I need to look out for. But overall, I think we don't need to look at it. So I'm just going to hide that for now. Yeah, I think we should be good. I do want to do a quick little experiment here. Yeah, so we can now do groups within groups on Ableton 10, which is freaking awesome. So I'm super pumped about that. Okay, so before I go any further, up here, you may or may not be able to see the name of the song is All I Can Do Is Dance 8.1. So as always, whenever we start off on a new session, I'm immediately going to do Save Live Set As. And I'm going to increment my number here to 9.1. And again, that enables us to be able to go back, and if we make any mistakes, we can always get back to where we were, and we can always, you know, kind of work without fear that we're going to screw something up. Sneepy, thank you for the chorus, my friend. Send me a DM on Facebook with your chorus idea. You can just sing it if you want. So what I haven't really gone into what I was going to do with this yet. So it may look like I don't have a chorus for this yet, but what I'm actually going to do, it's very popular for dance songs like this, where you basically take the hook, which is All I Can Do Is Dance, which right now it's just in the build. But I'm going to actually tweak this hook and create a chorus slash drop out of it. Peter, thank you for the question. I'm sorry, my friend. I don't actually do any outside artist work at the moment, but if you kind of follow along with me, I should be able to help you out in doing your own stuff. And eventually, one of these days, I may start doing some outside artists again. I produced outside artists, or I've produced artists for like almost 15 years now, and I'm taking a break to kind of work on this teaching stuff, because especially with all the corona, COVID stuff, it's getting increasingly harder to go to studios to work with people. And I know a lot of people are stuck at home, and money is an issue, so I figured I would take this time, since I've been fortunate in my career, I would take this time to kind of teach you guys how to do this stuff yourself. It's really not that hard. So especially if you're a vocalist, which I know we have a lot of people on here that are trying to be an artist themselves. So I think today's lesson will be very helpful for you as far as what I'm going to do here. So I went and did my save as 9.1. So we've got a new session going here, and we can just kind of work freely. What's up, Ioane? Thanks for saying hello, my friend from Fiji. Awesome. Okay, so what I did basically to get started was I color coded these 4 different tracks, right? And they're different colors. So the idea is, if I take, this is going to be my vocal comp, and let me go ahead and I'll actually match the colors here of the tracks so we don't get confused on that as well. I don't remember which blue one that was, but that's close enough. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay, so what I want to make sure of here is if I bring down this, right, it's going to stay yellow. Okay, so good. I just wanted to make sure Ableton didn't change anything on me. Okay, so again, if you're working in any DAW, it doesn't matter. You don't have to do this in Ableton, but this is how I go about doing this. I color code my takes. And basically the process is going to go like this. I'm going to listen through each phrase individually, and then when I find the one that I like, I'm not just going to take it and move it. Another important thing here is I have my grid on. If I don't have my grid on and I start moving clips, you see how easy it is for stuff to slide around timing? I don't want to do that. I want to keep a grid on so I can always clip on the grid markers. And that way I know I'm not shifting the vocals anywhere. But another key thing is I don't want to actually just move clips like this. I want to actually copy the clips like that. And I'm holding the Option command on my Mac. I believe it maybe is Alt on a PC if you're working on Windows. But I want to copy this. So let's say the first vocal, I like take number 4 the most. Let's say the next vocal, I like take number 2. And you see, you got to be careful with stuff shifting. Let's see if the next take, I like take number 3. And then take number 1. And then I like take number 3. Now, the reason I do this color code thing here is, for one, I can see immediately visually, I can see which vocal I took the take from. So I know that that's where it came from. So in other words, I don't just start piling random audio clips on each other, and I don't really know where stuff came from. Now, I'm going to just do kind of an overview of this today, and we will comp the vocal, but I want to explain why this is important. If I want to double my lead vocal, so let's say I go through and I get the whole lead vocal, right? So we're just looking at the lead vocal. Well, what I can then do is, if I cannot just copy direct copies of my lead vocal and put one on the left and pan one to the right to give it that nice doubling kind of chorus effect. You can't do that with the same exact vocal. Even if you use like delays and stuff, it doesn't work correctly. You need to actually use separate takes to give it that nice full doubling sound. So what I want to do is find my good lead vocals, and I know, okay, I got a lead vocal from the yellow take 4. So then when I go and create my left and right channels, I create a left channel here, a right channel over here. And when I do that, I know, oh, okay, I can pull maybe this vocal and use it for the left channel. And then I could use this vocal and maybe use it for the right channel. So when I actually have all of these doubled, I'll show y'all really quickly what it sounds like. I would probably pull this volume down a good bit, this one down a good bit, but then when I play them together, I get that nice full sound. And then I also want to be sure that I'm sending my lead vocal and my doubled vocals here. I don't want any input to them, but I want to make sure I send them out to that lead vocal bus as well, because you could hear just now I didn't have any effects going. Okay, so just like that. So I can also, if I screw something up, I can just delete this and go forward without missing, you know, I would have holes if I just moved the tracks down like this. And I want to keep these takes intact. Again, it allows me to always go back to the nice complete vocal tracks. And if something screws up down the line, if for some reason I need to go back and pull a different vocal, I'm going to know immediately where that vocal came from on the lead vocal comp. So today, what we're going to do is just go through these vocals and just pick out the best parts and just kind of comp them. And I think that's what we'll try and take care of today. So I have all of these vocals are going to my lead vocal bus. And I'm just going to turn them on one by one. And I can actually, in Ableton, a cool feature is I can hit Command K. And I can hit my 1 key. And I can hit this button right here, and that's going to allow me to turn the number 1 take on and off. I can hit this one down here, and I can hit number 2. This button here, these are the mute buttons, 3 and 4, or the speaker on button. So now that I've set that up, I can turn with just my number 1 key on my keyboard. I'm able to turn channel 20 on and off. Or I can do channel 2 with my number 2 key, 3 and 4. It's a super quick way to work. So I know if I'm checking vocal 1, I just turn it on. All the other ones are off. And I'm just going to go through these one at a time. All right, I actually kind of like that one. Let's check out number 2. That's pretty good. Not so much. Let's listen to number 1 again. I think I like number 2 the most. Number 1. I like the 1 more, I think, on this one. So I like the day. I like the day from this one. And I like the 1 more from this one the most. So I'm going to do just like that. I'm going to zoom in here. And get my little crossfade going here. And just put those together. And then let's listen to my comp track down. So now we'll be listening to this right here. All right, cool. Let me listen to number 4 one more time, compared now that we have this one put together. And then I'm also going to add this comp track to number 5 so I can quickly access it on my keyboard. So let's listen to number 4 again. I'm kind of liking number 4 now better because just next to this comp, I feel like number 4 has a little bit more power. Let's listen to number 4 again. Yeah, 4 definitely has more power, and that's another thing. You know, a lot of the time, the final vocal take is going to be the one where if the vocalist, which in this case was me, I kind of knew this was going to be the last take, so I'm kind of like giving it everything I got. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm looking for power in a take, I'm going to be going with number 4. So you see the way that I do that. It's a pretty tedious process. I'm going back and forth between all these vocals. But this is one of the key things that in my journey to become a producer, I realized like, holy crap, this is what the real big dogs are doing. Like, they are going through literally every vocal like this, sometimes even down to certain words, certain syllables. You know, I've told y'all before, in case you missed it, you know, I lived in California for a while, and when I worked out there, I was working with some of the big, you know, big time people in the music industry. And when I kind of realized, like, oh, this is why the records that they produce sound so good, because they are literally picking the best pieces possible of every single thing, instruments, voices, the whole deal. So it's pretty tedious, but this is kind of what you have to do to get it to be the best. So I like to move quick when I'm doing this also, because it is tedious. So let's try and get back to it. All right, take number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Not sure why I'm getting that static there. Oh, I really like number 4. I think I was in the groove there. Let's try number 1 again. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I try to get like the top 2 takes that sound good to me, and then I'll start comparing. So I have 4 takes. I try to figure out what are the top 2 that I can compare against each other, and then I'll kind of pick from those. So let's listen to number 1 and number 4 now. I like that heart on number 4. And also, if I'm ever in doubt, this is another little tip. If I'm ever in doubt and I think 2 takes are pretty similar as far as how good they are, like in this case, I'll usually try to pick whatever take I used for the last section, because it just keeps a little bit more of a continuity there. I know, okay, I picked the 4th take here. If I'm kind of unsure between this one and this one, I'll say, okay, well, if they're both about the same, I'd rather take the one that had the same section right before it. It's just going to sound a little more natural most of the time. All right, so let's keep moving. Take number 1. Now on this one, I did change the lyrics. So instead of one last chance, I decided to go with one more chance. Because in the beginning of the phrase, in the beginning of the verse, I say one more day. And I kind of thought about it. I was like, you know, if I could repeat that more kind of idea, it might be easier for the listener to remember. One more day, one more chance. So I did like that number 1 take, but it's the wrong word, unfortunately. That was pretty decent. Not too bad. I kind of like that one again. So right here, I'm kind of liking the chance on one part and the one more on another part. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start over and say, okay, let me just listen to the one more part. So I know take number 1's no good. So now I'm going to do take number 2 and just listen to one more. I kind of like this one more at least up here. Let's see if I like the chance. For some reason, I just like something about this one better, so I'm going to go with it. That was take number 3. All right, let's keep moving. Back to take number 1. So right here, I have kind of a longer phrase. So the first thing I want to do, well, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to break this down. That's another thing people have trouble with when they're comping vocals. I kind of had the same issue when I was starting out as well. They'll try to listen to this whole phrase, and it's too much to listen to. You know, you got to break it down into smaller sections. So I'm just going to listen to this this section right here. You let it good. I like that better. All right, so I kind of like this one. I'm going to grab that. And now let's listen to Love Slip. Let's try to put this one together and see what it sounds like down here. Let's try and do the rest of this yellow take and see how that sounds. So now I'm going to check this against that whole phrase for the rest of them. Not enough power in number 3. Check back number 1. Yeah, I think number 4 wins on that one for me. So let's keep moving. Better. Decent. I kind of like number 3 a little better there. Yeah, I think I like number 3 better here, so I'm going to copy that down. Be sure you don't scoot off the grid like I almost did just now. So I'm going to pull that out to about there, and then I'm going to peel back here just a little bit, get all of these on the grid. And then let's start from here, back to take number 1. So we'll do Ain't It Sad, When the. I'm liking number 3 on this one again, and that's good because I just used the green number 3 take previous. So all I got to do, I forgot I did these in separate takes, so I'm actually going to so when the, I'm missing a little bit, but I think I can correct that on my with a little bit of editing. So I'm going to grab this take here, and then let's see if we can put this together and get the S in there properly. Something about like that. Let's see. Now I want to get that S in there. So here's another little tip for you guys. I need to get that S in there, but I'm just not quite getting it because of where the next vocal starts. So there's no rule saying that you can't just cheat your S over. That's my S sound right there in that waveform. So there's no rule saying I can't cheat it over just a little bit, and then I'm going to fade it in with this. So check that out. And I want to get a little bit more of the beginning of that in there. And let's see where this is coming in at. Yeah, so now I can get a little bit of the S in there. And then I can even go into the actual wave down here itself, and I'm bumping up the S in volume by about 4 dB to hear it a little better. I'll have to work on this crossfade a little bit, it sounds like, but yeah, pretty good. Let's pull it over this way a little bit. All right, cool. Let's keep it moving. Back to take number 1. Okay, so I'm going to break this down into just listening to Tears. Kind of like that one. Let's go with the green one here because that's what I used before, like I just mentioned. And then we'll start it back up here. Yeah, hard to tell which one between 3 and 4. So I'm going to stick with the one that I took on the previous take and just keep that going there. All right, back to take number 1. Keep moving. I think number 3 again on this one. Yeah, I think the green take again is still winning on this one. And you'll notice that also, this is another little tip. So I did these in separate takes, right? And again, that's why if you missed a lesson before this one where I explained how I record these vocals, you can see I have here lead vocal. That was a recording 11, and then I stopped, and then I started another take here, which is take, clip 12. So I know that these are separate takes, but this particular section that we're working on, I did in one pass. And sometimes you'll notice that a vocalist will get in the groove and they'll kind of, be feeling it on a particular recording. So right here, that seems to be the case for me. So let's see how the rest of this did. So I'm just going to listen to that part. Yeah, again, I'm liking the green take here. I'm going to keep moving from there. Back to number 1. Yeah, this one's hard. A lot of them sound alike, so I'm thinking I'll probably keep rolling with the take 3. Also, if we've been doing this process for probably about 15 or 20 minutes now. It's okay every so often, you may need to just kind of take a break, like I'm noticing, because I'm doing this quickly and I'm just kind of rolling through these vocals trying to get it knocked out. After you do enough phrases, your brain might start to get a little scrambled and you're like, wait, what am I even listening to? So that's fine. Just take a break. Grab yourself a sip of tea. Let your ears kind of take a quick break. And then let's start again and see what we got. Let's start back from take number 1. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I'm kind of liking all of them, so I'm going to stick with my take 3. I kind of feel like I was in the groove on that one. All right, back to take 1. So you can see here, this take number 3, which I've been using for a lot of my takes. For some reason, I was behind the beat here, and you can just see that visually. So if you're doing vocals like this and you're trying to comp stuff, I know that my take ends there. So this was on this particular clip that I was recording. So if you're trying to compare vocals, you also want to make sure that the timings are pretty close to each other. So I'm just going to cheat that over a little bit because I want to make sure I'm actually listening to the correct timing so that I can judge it accurately. So now that we've adjusted that, let's go back to the beginning here and take one, and we'll listen to it in context now. Take number 3. I think number 2 I was liking on this. I'm listening to Kind. Yeah, I definitely like take number 2 on this one better. So I'm going to grab that, copy it down, make sure I don't shift the grid anywhere. Try and make sure we get a pretty decent crossfade in here. And then let's just, always it's good to back up and kind of listen to what your comp is doing as we go. Yeah, it sounds like we're going to have to do a little bit of a timing adjustment. You can see here, again, my take 3, just for some reason about right here, looks like it's a little bit behind. So I'm going to scoot it back just a tad. Just cheat it over just a little bit. And again, if you can do this as you're going, you're not going to leave yourself quite as much work for when it's time to do your mixing. And we still are going to have, of course, some vocal editing to do on this. But as you go, just kind of address these things as you go. Yeah, I'm feeling that. All right, sweet. Do me a quick Command S to save, just in case. All right, we're going to check this one out now. This last little phrase here, back to vocal 1. Yeah, I kind of think I like take number 3 here. It's not quite as loud as the other ones, but again, I can adjust that down here. I can give it a little help really quickly, a couple dB boosts, and let's see what it sounds like with the rest of our takes. All right, sweet. So let's try and knock out this chorus. So again, same thing here. I had some latency in my headphones while doing this because of the streaming software I'm using. So I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit to kind of match the rest of these guys, just so we can kind of be in the same ballpark. Back to take number 1. Okay, so on this one, I don't really particularly like any of these because when I was recording and the way I was doing it, my timing just felt like it was a little bit off for all of these. But I am going to pick one just as a placeholder for now, and I'm probably going to wind up, since I'm doing the same exact phrase later on, I'm thinking I can find me a better one later on in the takes down here. But I'm going to pick something just for a placeholder for right now. And I think number 3 is the one that I like. So let's pull that down and then keep it moving. So this one I'm having a little trouble, so I'm going to just break it down to this phrase right here and see which one's best. I think number one actually on this one I like. It's a little bit clearer. And again, be careful you're not shifting your vocal when you're doing your copy here. So let's go back to take number one. I think I like take number four here. Back to take one. Between number one and four, back it up just a little bit. Yeah, number one had the most power in this falsetto kind of thing, so I want to roll with that for the lead vocal for this. I like this right here, but the can, I think I like maybe number one better. So I'm gonna keep the red part of the can here. And then again, I'm gonna zoom in. And we're gonna try and do a nice little crossfade here. Make sure we get everybody in there. Nice tiny crossfade, and then let's check our whole comp vocal track here now. I'm not liking the do on this so much. Sounds a little weak. Let's see if we can find a better one. So let's try and grab this do right here. I'm going to copy that down. And then we're going to zoom in. And again, we're going to work on getting our crossfades done appropriately here. I think that'll work. And then I think I just need to bring the volume up of this do a little bit. All right, let's check our comp. Sounds a little bit loud. Let's bring it back just a touch. And then we just need to tighten up this crossfade right here. See if we can put that together about right there. And I'm missing my S on the end of dance, so I need to peel that back. Yeah, something a little bit weird right there. I'm not getting like the D that I need there. Now, another thing, so again, this I'm just trying to show you all how when you go through this stuff, this is the little things that you need to be paying attention to. So for example, I cut in this do right here, but I'm using the yellow take number 4 for the end. Now, something rhythmically is weird here. I can hear it. So I want to start looking at my timing and say, okay, is my timing getting jacked up somewhere? So I see like right here, it seems like I could maybe scoot this back just a little bit. And let me do these individually. Scoot that back a little bit. Crossfade. Okay, cool. Right here, you can see my blue take is one of the later ones. It's actually the latest one. So the timing for the next phrase is getting a little weird. So I'm going to scoot that back. I'm looking at the timing here because I know I'm finishing off this phrase here. Now, it could also be that this one is coming in a little early because it's the earliest one as well. So let's take a look and make some sensical decisions here. Let's listen to what the phrase is saying. That sounds better already. And what I'm looking at here, I have my beat markers, right? Beat 1. This is bar 27. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. When I just shifted this blue take, I was looking at, okay, where does the beat actually start? And the beat starts right there. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Let me, if you see where it was originally, you can see I'm late on this. And that's how I know. All I can do is right on the downbeat. So that's where I wanted to put it, right there on the downbeat. And it sounds already better with this one. So let's listen one more time. Yeah, that's sounding a lot better. Now that do is dance is going to be coming up on the upbeat. So on bar 4 here, this is bar 4, the upbeat starts right here. And you can see my dance is pretty much starting right there. So that's cool. So we'll do just a little crossfade here just to make sure it's nice and tidy. And then we should have everybody in there. All right, cool. So we're almost to the end of this thing. Back to take 1. Kind of liking take 2 here. Now again, I'm having a little bit of a timing discrepancy here on this. All I can do is on take number 3. And the other thing is I kind of started these takes again because of I think because of this latency thing in my headphones when I was doing the stream. I'm having an issue where I'm starting this phrase off a little bit late on these. The all should be starting off right on the upbeat there. And you can see that they're a little bit late. I've got about that much space, that much space. The bottom take was a little bit better. So again, I'm going to just cut these here. Cut that there. And let's see if I had some issue here as well. So same thing, my downbeat is here, and you can see how much timing is off there. The fourth take was pretty good, so I'm going to also scoot these back a little bit as well. Yeah, so it looks like probably the takes as a whole could be scooted back a little bit. So let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to put it right there up to the bar. Right there up to the bar. Right there up to the bar. And then we'll scoot this one just a tad. So let's listen to our takes from the beginning now on take 1. Yeah, that sounds better already. Now I'm hearing a little bit of a pitch issue on this take number one, but I do actually like it the best as far as the tone of the take. It's got a little bit more power that I'm looking for. So I'm going to pick it for the first part of this, and then I'm going to go back and start listening just to this half of the takes. Yeah, I like take number 4 for this one right here. Back to the top. Kind of like take number 4 here. Yeah, I think we're going to keep it with take number 4 here. Try it back from the top. Yeah, I think take number 4 here. And again, you guys, if y'all are watching this, the key thing here is I'm able with my keyboard, the way that I set up those key commands in Ableton here, I'm just as I'm playing, I'm just hitting on the keyboard. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and that's how I'm able to go through this so quickly. So I hope that y'all caught that when I was explaining how to do that. Just being able to flip through these takes is super key. So back to take number 1. So I like I can from take 4, but I'm liking this all better up here from take number 1. So I'm going to just grab like that, and then same deal. Scoot in here, do me a little tiny crossfade, and then right here, you can see the timing discrepancy here on take 4. So I'm going to try and get it to be a little more natural with this take, which means I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit, and then I'm going to crossfade to get the timing a little more in line with where the red take was. And let's check that out. All right, so now we're going to get the rest of it. So same thing here. You see where I'm having some more of these timing issues. So I'm going to scoot this take over to get it in line a little bit better. And that should help a lot. Back to take number 1. Whoops. Yeah, I think take number 4 again on this one had the most power. Yeah, take number 4. And then we're just about done, you guys. Back to take number 1. So same thing here. I've got a little bit of a timing discrepancy on these takes. So we're just going to scoot them over, get them a little more in line with everybody else so that we can judge a little more accurately. All right, I think I like take number 3 on this. And yeah, I guess the final tip I'm going to give y'all for today. I realize that this is a pretty tedious process. And I've done it on literally hundreds of records now. And it never ceases being tedious. But again, you're picking the absolute best stuff for your lead vocal take. We still have some more editing to do. I'm going to tune the vocal and I'm going to show y'all how I do all of this. But it's super tedious. If you have a vocal with, say, like 2 or 3 verses, the chorus, a lot of times, music, the way it's done now, you just do one good chorus and then copy paste. But it's super tedious to do this, I realize. But I just wanted to take you through this process and show y'all this is how it's done at the top level. A last little tip I wanted to give y'all for today doing this, I just kind of utilized this trick on this last yeah. Especially for stuff where you're like, for a yeah type vocal like this, for a phrase like this. It's not a long thing with words where I'm kind of listening to how did they pronounce the word, what is the pitch like. Yeah is just yeah, and there's only so many ways you can do it. But what I was doing on that last one just there is I'm closing my eyes and I try to take a step back and say, okay, if I was listening to this song on the radio or in the club, which vocal sounds the most like it belongs on the track in that sense, And it doesn't seem like a huge deal when I say that probably, but if you can just close your eyes and take a step back from the song and just pretend like you're listening to it on the radio and think to yourself, which one of these yeahs sounds like it belongs on that radio version or that club version? And that's basically how I picked take 3 on there. It just sounded like the one that belonged on this song if I was to hear it in the club or on the radio. So let's listen to what we got from the top and then we'll call it a day for today, you guys. Let's cut off our take 1 here and just listen to the comp. And then I'll also I'll just minimize these and just know that we're listening to this. Now again, when this is all said and done, you can see how easy it is for me to now identify where I pulled these takes from. If I want to go on in the end and do doubles of stuff, I don't have to worry about, oh crap, which take did I use? I've got everything nice and numbered the way that I recorded it, so I know exactly which take is which, and that's super key, especially if you're trying to work quick. All right, let's check it out. Okay, I'm going to put a little cut right here because I can hear my timing. Everything was sounding good, but then this green take right here, I can hear the timing is a little bit late again. So let's address that while we're listening. And this is also key. You want to go back and listen from the beginning in context with the track. Just because these are the best takes doesn't mean that the timing's all going to be right. Yeah, so this whole phrase right here is sounding like it's a little bit late to me. So I'm going to scoot all this over about like this. And let's see what this sounds like now. Maybe we moved it just a tad too much, so I'm going to undo. And let's scoot it back just a little bit less. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, same thing here. I need this one to be coming in a little bit early. And some of the tricks you can look for here. I know that this is the fourth measure of bar 24, right? 24.4. So I know that this is where the upbeat starts. I can also use my reference vocal up here, and I know that I wanted to start that. Now again, this was the one I said was going to be more like my placeholder. So I'm not really tripping on it too hard, but just for even right now, I want to scoot this over just a little bit. Oh, sorry, you guys. If you hear that in the background, that's like the emergency weather signal going off over here. My dogs are going nuts, so y'all don't fear. They're okay. All right, sweet. All right, you guys, I think that's going to be it for today. I know that was tedious, but like I said, this is the way it's got to be done if you want the best results in the end. So coming back on Saturday, I'm going to show y'all how I edit the rest of this final comp vocal now that we have all the pieces here. And we're going to get it nice and tuned up, and we're going to get it sounding really professional and really nice. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll see y'all again on Saturday. Have a great day.